Daniel Woodrum, my man, my friend, tell me about the time that it felt like you got stabbed in your heart when you were on the couch with your daughter.
Oh, yeah, this is a painful memory, but an important one because it really changed. It changed a lot for me. At the time, my daughter was about 2 years old. My wife was in the kitchen cooking us dinner. I was on the couch, supposed to be spending time with my daughter. I had all the right intentions, but I was on my cell phone. I was either on email, on social media, whatever it was. And my daughter was actually talking to me, and I was so into my phone, I didn't hear, I wasn't paying attention. And she hit me on the leg. She said, "Daddy, put your phone away and pay attention." And it was like a stab in the heart. I mean, you see my daughter, she's the cutest thing in the world, right? And it's like, it was just a stab in my heart. And in that moment, Craig, I told myself, you know what? Like, I'm not going to be on my phone anymore when it should be family time. Like tomorrow, fresh start tomorrow, right? Well, guess what? The same thing happened the next day because I was so addicted to my phone. And
Yeah.
so I understood that I had to take an extreme measure, what you call, Craig, a circuit breaker. And so I had to end up putting my phone in airplane mode, putting it in our room in a drawer for at least 2 hours during dinner time until my daughter went to bed. And I had to take extreme measures because I was so addicted to my phone that I could not just simply had enough. I didn't have enough willpower. So I had to change my environment. And luckily I had to do that for a few weeks. Luckily I was able to break that kind of habit. And now I still put my phone away because I'm still tempted, but I don't have to go to those extreme measures anymore. But it was a painful moment, but one that I'm very glad that it happened because it was really a turning point for me and my family.
Yeah, listen, hey, I know that everybody listening to this has felt like that one way or another. And so I'm Craig Ballantyne, and this is Daniel Woodrum, the head coach in my coaching program, business partner of mine for how long has our Fit Body Bootcamp now been open? 7 years?
Yeah, 7 year birthday. Yeah.
7 years. He's been in my world as a client for 10 or 11 years. And I've watched him grow from, Daniel, when you came to me, were you single or had you met Brittany when you came to me years and years ago?
I was single. It was about a year before I met Brittany. Yeah.
Wow. So I've watched you meet Brittany, get married to Brittany, go from one gym, open up multiple gyms, become a head coach or a coach in our program, now head coach in our program, and just helping so many people. And you're really an expert in helping busy parents become unbusy, is particularly entrepreneurs, because you shared with me a question in one of the trainings that you're doing recently for our mastermind group. Like, everybody could be even more busy. Like, how busy could you be? Yeah, I mean, you could be even more busy than you are right now. So how does somebody stop being busy and actually become productive?
Yeah, there's a big difference, and a lot of us are just good at being busy, and I was good at being busy for many years, but there's key distinctions between being busy and being productive. To me, being busy means that you're multitasking, right? You're not focused. You're on your phone texting somebody, you're on an email responding back, maybe you're also looking at a financial report newsletter, and maybe all three of those things, right, are they're important, and you're trying to do something that's actually good for the business, but you're trying to do three things at one time, which means you're doing nothing productive. You're doing nothing good at all, right? So, you're multitasking. You don't really have any type of plan. You don't actually have any purpose. You're just working to work. You're just staying busy. You're just checking the to-do list, right? And also you are distracted in your environment. Craig, one thing that you taught me a while back was, the six, take your arms out to your side, right? And do like a 360 rotation. Yes, yes. Whatever is within arm's reach, that is a distraction. Whether it's your phone, it could be food, it could be a magazine, it could be a remote, whatever it may be, right? Yeah. And so just thinking about that, like I always say, you cannot change. There we go. Like a little Bruno Mars action right there. But you cannot, it's really hard to rely on your willpower, especially later on in the day, but you can definitely change your environment. So being productive means, you're laser focused, you have a plan, right? You know exactly what needs to get done, when it needs to get done, and how it needs to get done. You're not trying to be good at everything. You are a good delegator, right? You understand what is the main focus and what else you need to either delegate, automate, or eliminate, which, I know we've talked about a lot, Craig, in the past.
Mhm.
And so just being more productive means working less, but getting more done. It's working smarter, not harder. I know you hear this all the time, right? But everyone is just busy. They're not productive. And I shouldn't even say the word busy, but if you're a parent, right, you better be productive so you can get the work done and you can spend more time with your family.
So how the heck are you more productive now and less busy as a parent of two young kids and now a new puppy dog owner compared to when you were a single personal trainer? Like, how are you actually more productive now?
You know what? I think it's because I have more responsibilities. Like in the past, when I was a single guy, like it didn't really matter because I didn't really have any other responsibilities. Like I had to take care of myself, right? So I could kind of be busy. I could do what I wanted to. I didn't really have anybody else to take care of. Where now, as a parent, right, I have more responsibilities. I have to take care of my kids, my wife, my 15-week-old puppy now. And so it's almost like my time has shrunk, which means I need to be productive because I don't have time to waste anymore. And so having a clear start time, a clear cutoff time, right? Having strategic breaks in the day, I'm working less hours, but I have to be more focused because I don't have as many hours in the day to actually work.
Yeah. And so now you have kids, family, travel, workouts. You're obsessed with this productivity angle. And, we don't want to be too hard on you. We started with that story about your daughter getting upset, but you do something every week that is an amazing ritual with your daughter. Why don't you tell us about that and how you've made time for this? And I know a lot of parents wish they could make time for something like this. And a lot of single people wish they could make time for more date nights. So tell us about your donut date.
Yes. So this has been going on for about a year and a half now. And my daughter Blease, it was just one random morning. I just decided, I told my wife, like, hey, I'm gonna take Blease for a donut. I love donuts. So selfishly, it was like a good excuse to go get a donut, right? And there's a donut store right in our neighborhood, just a mile down the road from our house. And so I took my daughter there, and I didn't really have any intentions. I was just eating a donut with her. And I saw the smile on her face. And keep in mind, she was a little bit, 2 years old, a little bit older than 2 years old. But to see the smile on her face, to see the sprinkles, the chocolate all over her face, like it was just a really cool experience. And I realized in that moment, I'm like, you know what? Like I should do this all. Like I should make this a date. I should do this weekly, right? And so what I did was I went home, told my wife about it. I also took a picture as well and put it on Facebook because I wanted that extra public accountability. Said, hey guys, like I just had the best date ever with my daughter. I'm going to start doing this weekly because I knew that unfortunately I probably would go back on that commitment if I didn't have that public accountability. And so the next week, donut date, the next week, donut date. And so now a year and a half, I think I've missed 2 Wednesdays. It's every Wednesday. I think I missed 2 Wednesdays because we were traveling, so I couldn't really be there, right? But we still did a Zoom donut date, so I still made it happen. But yeah, nothing else goes in that calendar between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. Nothing else goes in that calendar. Literally, Craig, like, I'm being serious about this. You could say, I'm going to give you $5,000. I would say no, because it's that important to me because I didn't have that type of relationship or memories with my parents, even though I loved them to death. Like, I just didn't have that.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, this is one of the most important things in my life right now. And so, yeah, donut dates is it's a non-negotiable. Nothing gets in the way of that. Nothing.
I guess this would also be an incredible way to teach your kids about the days of the week, to memorize the days of the week.
There's actually a song "Days of the Week." But yes,
Does she think every day is Wednesday?
Well, I try to remind her on Tuesday when I put her to bed. All right, Belize, tomorrow's donut date, And then she's gotten into waffles as well, so now she wants a waffle date as well. I said, let's just keep it on donut date. Let's
Got
keep it
it.
on donut date.
Yeah. So one thing that you mentioned in that story there was the power of public accountability. And recently you wrote an article for our newsletter about the accountability that one of our clients is getting from you. And this is a guy who manages $350 million in assets as a financial advisor. I mean, this guy's richer than about 80% of our clients. And yet he is your best client. He has the most accountability to you. Why is he doing that? And why do people need accountability? And what's the difference between accountability and then the next level of public accountability and then the next level of accountability to the person you deeply don't want to disappoint?
Yeah, so a great question. Yeah, so the coaching client, we'll just call him Michael. Super successful guy, by far the best coaching client that I've had, most enjoyable to work with as well. And like you said, he is super successful. But when he joined our coaching program, he just knew that he had a higher level to reach, but he realized that he couldn't do it by himself. He needed outside eyes. He needed public accountability, right? He needed that extra perspective on things. And so he wanted to be, he wanted to be there more for his family, right? And so I could relate to him where he had a lot going on, and he did not have those non-negotiables in place for his wife and his kids. So that accountability there on doing date night, right? Getting home by 6 o'clock in the evening time so he could be with his family. That type of accountability was really key. And in the accountability article I wrote, Craig, he could easily just coast along and still probably get success and get results. But the reason that he got to this level of success already, right, is because he's a high performer. He wants more, right? He's not just going to rest on his laurels. And so that accountability, every single day, he emails me in the morning time. And what he emails me is what he accomplished the previous day. And this is not a long to-do list. This is just his big 2 or 3 rocks, right? He also, and that includes what is he going to accomplish that day, right? What's on his big rocks that day. And then one cool thing he does too, Craig, is he always writes what he's grateful for. And that's really cool. That's really powerful. It's kind of like his gratitude journal that he does as well. And so that public accountability is really key. If you just have accountability in place, but it's somebody that you don't want to deeply disappoint, you're still probably not going to follow through on it, right?
No, it's someone, if you don't mind, if you disappoint them, like I've had coaches where I like them, but if I don't do what they tell me to do, it's like, well, I really don't care what they think of me. It wasn't until I got that accountability to that person who I deeply did not want to disappoint. And that to me, that came in 2 ways. One, there were individuals, you know, I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to disappoint Bedros. I don't want to disappoint Joel Marion. I don't want to disappoint Matt Smith. Like, I deeply do not want to disappoint those individuals. So I will do everything that they say, come back asking for more. I might even go and do more and then come back asking for more. But a lot of people, they're accountable to somebody who either lets them off the hook, you know, so you could be accountable to a friend, and if you do screw up, they go, don't worry about it. And that accountability is almost like having no accountability at all. The accountability is somebody you deeply do not want to disappoint. Like, that's our job as coaches, to make sure that we have the relationship with our clients where they're like, man, I really look up to you. I do not want to disappoint you. And then that's when you can help people move mountains in their life. And then the other thing is that public accountability, which is a little bit different. You know, now you're going and you're sharing it on a social media, you're sharing it to your team, your employees, or the people that you work with, or the guys on your team, or the girls on your team, you know, in your sporting teams or whatever. And you're just saying, like, I'm never going to miss a game, or I'm going to make sure that I get this book done by March 31st, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Hold me accountable to it. And I don't even know if you were in my world yet when I quit swearing, but that was 2011. It might have been just before or just after you entered into the turbulence training world. And I emailed that to 151,000 people on my email list. And, you know, that was like next level accountability. Like, I could never then go to an event and start swearing I never swore on stage, but off stage, you know, at dinner or something, because people would say, hey, I read your email and you said XYZ, that you would not do this, and you're doing it. So therefore, I can't trust you at all, because if you are breaking that promise, then what other promises are you going to break? So those are the levels of accountability. And is there anything else that you wanted to add to that about how powerful it could be, or just how your accountability to somebody like made a dramatic change in their life, personally or professionally?
Yeah, I mean, I think, even like people, when I had actually somebody reach out to me and they said, when I was taking pictures of my daughter, they said, why are you taking pictures? Are you just trying to do this to more or less brag? And I said, no, like, one is I'm creating memories, right? I'm also want to inspire other people. So yes, it's a way to hold me publicly accountable, but I also want to inspire other fathers, right, to have these donut dates, to be more present with their family, with their kids, because I know it's important. I know a lot of people that come to us want to spend more time with their family. And so if I can do something that can inspire them, right, then that's why I, not only do I take a picture for public accountability, but also to hopefully inspire and motivate other people as well.
Perfect. Okay, so now going a step back here in terms of the productivity, back on the productivity train, you've seen people make massive improvements in their productivity. And what are some of the secrets that people can use to do that?
Yeah, so one is, I actually like to tell people, one is cut your deadlines by about 25%, because, whenever we set deadlines, we're always going to wait until the last minute anyways. That's just human nature, right? You're going to wait to the last day, maybe in the last week, depending on how long it's going to take you to get done. So cut those deadlines by 20, 25, 30%. And you're not only going to be able to hit those deadlines quicker and get that done more quickly, but also is going to allow you to free up more time to do maybe something else, or maybe just spend more time with family, right? It doesn't always just have to be save time to do more work. It could just be save time to have more time for your family, whatever it is that's important to you. So I would say one is cut your deadlines by at least 20 to 25%. Another thing here is that, and I don't know if you're gonna get this, Craig, so if so, stop me, but the Amazon box analogy.
I was gonna say, so recently Daniel did this training for our mastermind group, and And I have this little shtick, I call it, about the Amazon box and time, but you did it on such a level that you were just on fire that day. So if you can replicate that presentation, everybody listening and watching right now, I think you would change your lives with this information, and it's entertaining as heck.
Yeah. So, we all get Amazon boxes, right? Delivered to our door. I know we get at least 3 or 5 a week. My wife loves ordering on Amazon. So, you have an Amazon box, right? And let's just envision an empty Amazon box. So the top of the box is open, right? And that Amazon box is your calendar, right? It's your blank calendar, if you will. We all have 168 hours in the week, but we all do very different things with those 168 hours. What most people do, and what a lot of people who come to us getting help, what they do first is they put all their work stuff in the Amazon box first. So that could be meetings.
So just quickly there, like,
Yep.
With that Amazon box, everybody, like, picture that Amazon box as having the ability to contain 168 hours. So it doesn't matter. Like, when you picture an Amazon box, it might be a big one, it might be a small one, but just picture that Amazon box, and that empty Amazon box can hold 168 hours. Now, the secret to success is how you put the hours in, which is what Daniel's going to talk about.
Yeah. So most people, what they do is they start putting all the work hours in first. So that could be, phone calls, meetings, emails, admin, business errands, whatever it may be, right? And so you're putting all these work things in the box, and your box is slowly starting to fill up and fill up and fill up and fill up, right? And then you get the point where you're like, oh, well, now I have all this personal stuff, whether it could be date night, it could be workouts, it could be family time, it could be dinner, whatever it may be. Usually what happens is your box is so full, two things either happen. Either you say, oh God, like my box is full, I have to shut this box, nothing else could fit in there. So you're like, I'll do this stuff next week, right? I'll work on this personal stuff next week, right? We know that's not going to happen. It's just this vicious cycle. Or you kind of haphazardly put the stuff in there, right? But there's really no commitment to it. There's no non-negotiable. We just fit it in there just because you feel like you should put it in there. And so you close this box shut, right? And you have all this work stuff, many, many hours of work stuff, and you barely have any time for the personal side of things, right? And so what I tell people is you actually want to reverse that. You actually want to put all the personal stuff in the box first. So date night, donut date, self-care, workouts, right? Whatever it is that's important to you in your personal life, that stuff should go in the box first. And then only after then you start putting the work hours and the work tasks in that box, which is your calendar, right? And what you're going to realize is that, oh my God, I don't have nearly as many hours as I thought to get work stuff done. That's a good thing, because again, that's going to force you to be more productive, less busy. You're going to get more resourceful, right? And you're going to be more clear on what needs to get done, because you don't have much time to waste anymore. So I always tell people, Craig, you basically every Sunday, because that's when we recommend most people do their planning, you get a blank Amazon box, an empty Amazon box, right? I want you to start thinking about putting the personal stuff in the box first, and then at the top, the work stuff goes in the box.
So when you had your first child, how did it affect your productivity?
Yeah, well, one is sleep was was extremely challenging. I was always, going to bed at 9 o'clock, getting up at 5 o'clock, 4:35, and so obviously the sleep factor was a big deal as well. But what I realized was that I had to, I had to be more of a team player. I had to help my wife out more, because I couldn't just put all of the responsibilities on her. And so we had to work together, and I had to be more strategic and do more time blocking. So like, hey, I'm going to have 2 hours of focused work time. Then I'm going to help out Britt, and I'm going to take over and watch Bleach for a couple hours. So Britt can either, take a nap, go do her own thing, whatever needs to get done. And so I was more strategic in terms of time blocking and having strategic times during the day of when I worked, instead of just having a 10-hour straight work day, which I tell people, you cannot be productive for 10 straight hours, right? Like, I guarantee you, Craig, most people that have a 9-to-5 job, or if you're an entrepreneur, you're probably 40% at best, you're actually productive in your workday. The rest of the time, you're just being busy, you're wasting time, you're distracted. So condense that time that you're working, and just focus on being productive, not distracted. And you're going to be able to have more free time to do other things, that's important to you, which to me is just being a father and being a family man.
That's powerful. And then the last thing I want you to share as we wrap things up here is you have a 4-3-2-1 formula for productivity. Can you give us just like a brief overview of what that is? Because you were teaching that to the mastermind. I know you're putting that in our effortless discipline boot camp program with like a longer training, but just what the heck can we take away from it right now?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of kind of playing around and creating systems or processes for myself. Different type of methods, if you will, just because I'm always trying to be more productive, right? I am not perfect. I still have a lot of bad habits that I need to break, right? So I'm always trying to improve, always trying to get better, practice what I preach, make sure that I'm not being a hypocrite. So I created this little 4-3-2-1 system that worked for myself. And, recently, Craig, I shared it at the virtual mastermind and kind of helped, told people to, hey, create your own 4-3-2-1 system. So what my 4-3-2-1 system is I go 4 hours every single day, social media free. Right. So I told you earlier that I've been addicted to my phone. Social media is, a lot of people are addicted to social media. So 4 hours a day, I do not go on social media. And that is usually 2 hours in the morning time, during what I call my magic time. And then 2 hours in the evening time. That's really, once I put my phone away and I spend time with my family. We're doing dinner. We actually all watch Wheel of Fortune together. My kids love Wheel of Fortune. So that I have 4 hours per day where I don't do any social media, right? Like social media detox, if you will. The 3 represents 3 hours of family time, right? So, unless if it's a rare occasion, 5 o'clock, no more work. From 5 to 8, usually we put our kids down by about 7:30, between 7:30 and 8. So 5 to 8, 3 hours of family time every single day.
And hold up for a second. That's 3 hours a day, not 3 hours a week.
3 hours a day, correct? Yes, 3 hours a day. Yes. So 3 hours per day with family. So the 2 represents 2 hours of magic time. So, every single day, my magic time is usually from 5 to 7. And I could go into this a long time here, but I actually like to go to a coffee shop to get work done in the morning time. I know sometimes it's easier to be at home. It's less travel, less obstacles, but that's just my thing that works for me. So I go to the coffee shop. I'm a Starbucks junkie. So from 5 to 7, 2 hours a day is my magic time. And then the 1 represents 1 hour device free. And honestly, normally that's 2 hours, but it's a 1 hour minimum where I just put my phone out. Like I talked about, I put my phone away. Make sure that I'm laser focused on my family. And usually that 1 hour device free is, before I go to bed during the evening time with my family. So that's my 4-3-2-1 method. Obviously, yours might look very different, but I would encourage you to try to create a 4-3-2-1 method that's going to help you, be more productive and be more disciplined, especially if you are, for me at least, if you're a parent and you want to spend more time with your family, you got to make sure that your actions align with that vision.
Yeah, that's powerful, my man. Last thing I want to ask you is like, what are you still working on? Like, what is Daniel still trying to improve on?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one thing I'm trying to work on is, I want to be more of a leader in our coaching business, right? Like, for right now, I've got, 40 something one-on-one coaching clients, which is absolutely amazing. But, we have a new coach on our team now, and I want to become a better leader in the coaching business. I feel like I've been a very solid leader in my gym businesses over the years. But I want to be able to step up and be a better leader, in our coaching business. As far as my gym is concerned, and, I've told you this, Craig, like I love the gym industry and will forever be in my heart. But, I don't want to be a gym owner in 3 or 5 years, right? Like I want to be able to travel more, to spend more time with family, to create more memories. And so, eventually I'd love to be able to, put my gym in the hands of somebody else who can then live out their dream. Yeah. Right. And be able to continue to be a family man, to travel, to create memories, and, to be along your side, Craig. And I really believe in this coaching program and everything that you do. You paid it forward to me, and now I want to pay it forward to other people and help them live their best life.
That's absolutely amazing. So if you're listening to this and you want to be, one of Daniel's coaching clients, or you just want to be in our coaching program and get more feedback and more help from Daniel, then just head over to craigvalentine.com/apply. And you can fill out that little application, and we'll see if it's a good fit for us to work together. Because Daniel has been building businesses, he's been building his family, he's been building his habits, building his leadership for years. And Daniel, you're just like, it's an honor, it's a privilege, it's something I'm grateful for every day to have you on the team, my man. So thank you very much for being here again today. I think you're a 3 or 4 time member of the Early to Rise radio show, and I know that you'll be back again soon. So thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Craig. I always appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. All right. So again, head over to craigvalentine.com/apply, and we look forward to helping you become more productive, become insanely successful, and take your life and your business and everything that you do to the next level. We'll talk to you soon.